warriors. Construction is turning some Peterborough streets into a bit of a war zone. We have what you need to know.
Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history.
Hyping Harris. The Democrats build up the next hope now that Biden has backed off.
Some sunshine to start the week around the region, but we do have a thunderstorm risk lingering as well. Coming up, I'll tell you when we could see some active weather.
From Global Peterborough, this is CHEX News at 6:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Ferguson. A tough stretch for motorists on Peterborough Road. City streets continue to be ripped apart as construction crews work to revamp decaying infrastructure. Robert Lothian takes a look at the projects and the estimated finish dates.
These days in Peterborough, motorists are finding more streets closed than open.
There's a lot of constructions and I don't know why they have to do them all at the same time. And it seems to take forever to get anything done.
It's the season of detours. Intersection to intersection, road repairs back up traffic, leaving drivers delayed and frustrated.
A lot of delays to get around. I am happy that it's happening, but it's taking a really long time to complete, I think.
The city continues to overhaul its decaying road infrastructure. City Council emphasized the construction in a 2024 budget that prompted a 7% tax increase.
You could piecemeal the projects, one here, one there. One another time. But this council felt it was appropriate that we just seize the opportunity, put the money in the budget, and get these projects done.
Leal estimates the city is shelling out upwards of $9 million on roads. Some of the city's largest revamps include Brayley Drive, Armour Road, and of course, Lansdowne Street. Though downtown residents feel work in this busy corridor needs more focus.
Washboard. So they're destroying my suspension, tires, and all of that. Just constantly driving over in the washboard nature of the roads.
These streets in our downtown area that, frankly, have become an embarrassment.
No secret to the mayor, he says the work downtown will largely happen overnight, avoiding any further trouble.
Takes a little longer, but it really reduces the inconvenience of the motoring public and people riding their bicycles.
As the summer labors on, many projects are expected to continue into the fall. Relief then is likely only temporary, as city officials expect more summer slowdowns due to construction in the years to come. Robert Lothian, Global News.
The union representing workers at the Kawartha Halliburton Children's Aid Society is worried kids will be put at serious risk. It recently learned its workforce will see a significant number of layoffs and is blaming the province for underfunding social services. Jermaine Ma has the details.
We're worried that kids are going to die. We're worried that there's a risk that kids are in situations and they're unsafe and we're not being able to intervene.
Child protection worker Ruby Taylor is one of more than 100 staff members at the Kawartha Halliburton Children's Aid Society whose jobs are about to get even more challenging. They found out late last week their unionized workforce will be reduced by 20% after 21 full-time workers are laid off.
We're involved with families who have struggles with mental health. They might have struggles with addiction. They might have struggles with homelessness. They may have struggles with domestic violence.
Those issues, Taylor says, are becoming more complex while resources fall short. The CHEX is funded by the Ontario Ministry of Children, Community and Social Services to fulfill a mandate of protecting children from abuse and neglect. The union representing its workers says the agency has been operating at a deficit of close to $6 million. One of the biggest expenses, working around too few foster parents.
We have to rely on what we call OPRs, which are outside paid resources. And so those kids don't get to stay in their community. The ministry sets the rates for these OPRs, and we don't have a choice but to use them because we don't have enough internal foster homes.
The CHEX says it had no choice but to cut staff, saying the ministry has made it clear they will no longer fund the deficit, and a multi-year deficit management plan has been developed to reduce expenditures by $7.6 million.
A family that has been working with a worker will get a new worker, which is never a great thing because we try to keep family and workers consistent so they don't have to start all over again.
In-home support programs may also take a hit, piling on to long wait lists.
We also have staff who are often bringing in their own children's hand-me-down clothes so that clients have clothes for their kids. We have staff who are using their own money to purchase milk or other food items.
The ministry tells Global News in part it's invested an additional $36.5 million through the 2024 budget for the child welfare sector as a base increase. Over half of Ontario child welfare agencies were projecting deficits at the end of last fiscal year, according to the KHCAS. The union says it's reached out to the Premier and the Children, Community and Social Services Minister with no response. The layoffs are expected to be completed by the end of March next year. Jermaine Mall, Global News.
Thousands of Liquor Control Board of Ontario workers are returning to work after a historic 2-week strike. Our Queen's Park Bureau Chief Colin DeMello has the details.
As the first strike in LCBO history officially comes to an end, the new contract makes it clear this was all about the Ford government. The province's plan to put beer, wine, and ready-to-drink beverages in 8,500 convenience and grocery stores was enough to send the union to the picket line, unsure of whether the LCBO would continue to survive.
And when we got to the table and we saw what the employer was looking for in concessions, it just confirmed to all of our members that we were headed down the road of privatization.
But according to the deal obtained by Global News, the LCBO agreed to limit store closures, to start a task force to examine alcohol sales in Ontario, and to increase the permanent part-time workforce. A contract that Premier Doug Ford seems to have personally signed off on.
I felt like we all worked together. We saved 9,000 jobs.
According to the agreement, the LCBO and the union will create a joint task force to study the financial impact of expanded access to alcohol. The goal, to boost the LCBO's presence by potentially opening up new locations or even pop-up shops.
We can also grow, we can also expand, we can also provide services in smaller areas, in little kiosks, etc., that would be able to compete in a sense and be part of the competitive marketplace.
Next, the LCBO agreed to limit store closures until 2027. If a store loses sales to a nearby grocery or convenience store, it cannot be shut down by management. Even the Premier said he has no interest in shuttering stores.
I have confidence in LCBO. You give quality service, a quality product at a competitive price, guess what they're doing? They're coming to your store.
Then 1,000 casual workers will be converted into permanent part-time employees, up from the 400 the LCBO initially proposed.
So that's a huge achievement that we would have never seen ever without going on strike.
The LCBO will reopen to consumers tomorrow. Colin DeMello, Global News.
Time now for our first look at the forecast. For that, let's check in with weather specialist Kaylee Bedore. Hey, Kaylee.
Well, thanks, Gary. We started the week off with some sunshine, certainly for the region. As we head through the day tomorrow, a slight chance that we could pick up a few showers. Risk of thunderstorms starts to develop in parts of the region, and then that will linger through midweek. So Wednesday, we're also eyeing that potential as well. However, a lot of sun still in the forecast this week, and we also have some heat building back in as well. So humidity makes a return to the region as we head a little bit farther along this week. So before I get more into that, let's take a look at our Corus TV and Stereo Tower Cam. We saw some sunshine today, the golf course looking good, beautiful green out there. So certainly looking good on the Kawartha TV and Stereo Tower Cam. Now, as I mentioned, through this evening, overnight, we do have a few clouds developing, mix of sun and cloud for the most part. Into tomorrow morning, we'll start the day off in the mid-teen range. Heat picks back up and it will start to climb fairly quickly tomorrow with that humidity. And by the afternoon, feeling more like 35 with the humidex, daytime highs in the mid to upper 20s for Peterborough. So it is going to be hot as we push through midweek. And as I mentioned, that thunderstorm threat will be lingering as well. So coming up in the full forecast, we'll break down that risk. For now, that's a first look at your weather.
First Look at the Weather is brought to you by J.J. Stewart Chrysler, family owned and operated since 1916.
Police are searching for a suspect in a bank robbery. Peterborough police say their officers responded to a bank in the Chemong Road and Wolseley Street area Friday afternoon. They allege the man entered the bank threatening to burn it down and demanding money. The man was given cash before fleeing the scene. He's described as a tall, thin, white male between 40 and 50 years old. Anyone with information is asked to contact Peterborough Police or Crime Stoppers. An investigation continues after a man's body was found in Jackson Creek in Peterborough on Saturday afternoon. Police say just after 1 p.m., a body was found in the creek area of the pathway off Charlotte Street near King Street. The area was closed for several hours. Police report the coroner's office is now investigating the death of a 57-year-old Peterborough resident. It's the third sudden death investigation this month after the bodies of 2 men were found along city trails last weekend. OPP are investigating after a disturbance call in Omemee over the weekend. Police say they received the call shortly before 6 a.m. on Saturday. Officers could be seen canvassing Cornwall Street this morning. The investigation includes OPP and community crime units and forensic identification services. Police say there is no threat to public safety. Coming up, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heads to D.C. as the region he leaves behind continues to reel out of control. That story and more when we return.
CHEX News on Global Peterborough is brought to you by Kawartha TV and Stereo, family owned and operated for over 50 years.
Expand your view and lower your maintenance with innovative exterior railings from Monaghan Lumber.
Durable, safe, affordable systems with easy installation from Century Aluminum. Traditional steel posts and rails built to last from Fortress. Maximize visibility without sacrificing strength or durability using Invisirail.
Visit our showroom and discover your new exterior railing.
Monaghan Lumber, King of the Woods, your outdoor project specialist.
The lawyers of the Miskin Law Firm in Peterborough will fight for you.
As a lawyer for over 40 years, my main work has been to get injured people compensation.
If you have a serious injury from a car or other accident, Miskin Law is here for you.
If you have been harmed by dangerous products like drugs, chemicals, or asbestos, Miskin Law will fight for you.
Contact Miskin Law Office at the corner of Park and Charlotte in Peterborough.
We know how his story ended. Now see how it all began in CIS Origins' new series this fall on Global.
U.S. President Joe Biden has fundamentally changed the direction and momentum of the 2024 election. He gave in to the pressures building within his party to step down, passing the baton to his Vice President Kamala Harris. It's a decision that sparked new energy with voters, lawmakers, and donors. But as Reggie Cicchini explains, it's also resulting in fury and potential regret from the Republican Party.
Mindful of the duties of her day job, America's vice president is also navigating newfound waters as she ascends to the top of the throne within her party.
We are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation.
Less than a day after her boss saw the realities of this volatile election season, the party is quickly coalescing around Kamala Harris, including the former House Speaker, with Nancy Pelosi saying her enthusiastic support for Kamala Harris for president is official, personal, and political.
She's exciting the country.
And so I'm looking forward to sitting down with her.
Now, while foundational support is key, so too is money, and it's flowing with tens of millions already raised, a surge of momentum that's triggering Republicans.
I think millions of the American people believe that this is problematic.
The party spent months making Biden's age an issue.
Crooked, sleepy Joe.
But there's now a scramble to find a new narrative because it's Trump who's the oldest candidate in this race.
The first party to retire its 80-year-old candidate is going to be the party that wins this election.
With Biden out, Harris has a chance to reintroduce herself to voters, including those who originally chose someone else.
She can really build her presence in front of the American people in a way that Trump outside the White House won't have access to.
The big hurdle remains delegates. She needs thousands to come out on top, and time isn't on her side.
If other candidates emerge, then it is likely that there would be a contested primary at the convention.
With the party falling in place, it may all come down to a running mate.
What is going on in this country is absolutely disgraceful.
Republicans opted for a further than right of Trump candidate, leaving Democrats a chance to counter and battle for the moderates. Reggie Cicchini, Global News, Washington.
It was a tumultuous weekend in the Middle East. A militant group showed new capabilities, and the death toll across the region continued to mount. This as Israel's leader gets set to give a historic address to a joint session of U.S. Congress tomorrow. Nathaniel Duff reports.
It's important that Israel's enemies know that America and Israel stand together.
For a fourth time, the most of any foreign leader, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will speak to Congress Tuesday. A former Canadian ambassador says Bibi is trying to recharge the alliance and Israel's image.
It's all about presenting to the world another face of Israel in the light of the recent International Court of Justice ruling, the ICC, the International Criminal Court ruling.
Besides rulings against Israel by the world's top courts, it's under new attacks from an old enemy. The drone strike by the Houthis, Iran-allied militants in Yemen, killed only one person on Friday in Tel Aviv, but it shows they can now strike the heart of Israel. Israel fought back, hitting a major Yemen port, and then shot down Houthi retaliation. It signals a wider regional war appears to be crawling closer.
Whether Hezbollah or the Houthis hit a school or a hospital and not one or two, but 50 people or 100 people are killed, Israel will inevitably retaliate.
Israeli warplanes and tanks struck Gaza, pushing the death toll to more than 39,000, according to Gaza's health ministry. They're putting out a fire after a strike on a hospital. While the violence continues, so do negotiations. Militant Hezbollah said they'll abide by a Gaza ceasefire. The Houthis may as well. Israelis also pushing for a deal, especially after two more Hamas hostages died in Gaza.
Netanyahu seems to be the obstacle, but Hamas has created obstacles as well.
A wider war would kill many, so leaders may look to exchange relatively low-level attacks, Allen says, but the risk remains and is growing. Nathaniel Dove, Global News.
Well, stay with us. Still to come after the break, we'll take a full look at your forecast, some sunshine, and also storm threat this week. Those details just ahead.
This portion of CHEX News is brought to you by Peterborough Transmission, 400 McDonald Street, 743-6900.
It's time for summer excitement with the Nissan Take the Wheel event at TransCanada Nissan. Right now, lease a 2024 Nissan Kicks from 3.99% for up to 24 months, plus a $500 loyalty bonus. Or finance or lease a 2024 Nissan Ariya from 1.99% for 24 months, plus a $500 loyalty bonus. The Take the Wheel event at TransCanada Nissan, 1189 Lansdowne Street, West Peterborough.
Before it's your York air conditioner, it belongs to Chad Peachin and Ricky Howard and Sid Castile. You see, before you buy it, they own it. So if you want something really well built, you want a York. Built here. Built right. Built by York.
Hi, I'm Ryan. Tom's Heating and Cooling has been servicing Peterborough and the Kawarthas for over 30 years. If your furnace or air conditioner is in need of repair or replacement, give us a call.
Hi, I'm Reed from Ontario Carpet Supermart.
And I'm John from John Deere's Auto Source.
We're out here
at Craftworks at the Barn. Thanks, John and Reed.
Look at the assortment.
We have something for everyone. Check this place out. Hi, Daryl here from Craftworks out at the Barn. We have something for everyone. Check out our expanded food pantry, our many lines of home decor and furniture. That's Craftworks at the Barn, at Fowler's Corners, and we're open every day.
Here at Walton's, we have a fully renovated showroom to celebrate 30 years. From initial measure to install, I'll be there.
Live 3D design allows you to be part of the design process from beginning to end with exclusively Canadian-made cabinetry.
Our new displays feature a range of styles, including modern, traditional, and rustic. We have the largest selection of quartz countertops, fast turnaround with an in-house laminate countertop cutting station. Now your one-stop shop offering faucets, sinks, and flooring.
Walden's Family Kitchen. Among most motorhomers, Newmar is reputed to be the best of the best. Their luxury lineup of King Air, Essex, London Air, Mountain Air, and New Air are unrivaled in the motorhome industry. At the Hitch House, our exclusive motorhome design center allows you to personalize your Newmar coach just the way you like it. Come to the Hitch House, 4 miles north of Barrie, Canada's ultimate motorhome store, and see the entire Newmar lineup. The Hitch House, just north of Barrie. Visit us online at thehitchhouse.com.
Papa's House, coming this fall on Global.
Money Matters is brought to you by investment advisor George Ruppel from BMO Private Wealth, 109 Hunter Street East. Global scale with local presence. Visit georgeruppel.ca.
Taking a look at the markets now, the TSX is up 191 points. The Dow adding 127 points. Canadian dollar down at 72.71. Gold is down at $2,399.12 and oil down 18 cents at 79.95 US a barrel.
Weather is brought to you by J.J. Stewart Chrysler, family owned and operated since 1916.
Time now for a full look at your forecast. We have a few things happening weather-wise this week. The first, we have some heat, we have some humidity, some sunshine at times. Certainly, it's not going to be a washout week, but there's also the potential that we do see some storms developing right across the province. So including our viewing region, we are expecting to see that active weather threat developing on and off for the next few days. Things really clear out by the end of the week, but for now we do have the potential to see some storms also developing through Tuesday afternoon for some, especially through the eastern portion of the province, and then through Wednesday for northern Kawartha Lakes, Peterborough as you head north of Bancroft as well. So I want to step off the screen here just so you can get a good look at the region. As we head through the overnight tonight, just a few clouds developing for the most part, a slight chance of showers, still risk of thunderstorm does linger for Kingston area. And then through the afternoon tomorrow, north and east of Kingston, towards South Frontenac, Smiths Falls, especially toward Brockville, chance that we do see that active weather. And then that picks up north of Oshawa tomorrow, Newmarket area could get some wet weather by late afternoon and certainly through the evening and overnight. Wednesday, that target zone does start to shift a little bit farther north for Bancroft area, but we are looking at the chance of even some strong storms. So let's take a closer look here as you head north of Kingston, Smiths Falls, Brockville, downpours through the afternoon, and then chance that we do see some stronger storms starting to develop there as well. So that's for Tuesday afternoon. It clears back out and we do have a few clouds overnight tonight. A few showers as you head Belleville, Kingston area. Chance of showers does linger. Mid-teens for the overnight around the region, but that heat, man, it returns tomorrow. Mid to upper 20s with the humidity feeling into the mid-30s. Uxbridge, Port Perry, 27 degrees. Haliburton tomorrow, 28 for Minden as well. And by the time you get to Lindsay, Peterborough, Havelock, 29. Mix of sun and cloud. Storm threat as you push farther east. So here we are for Smiths Falls through the afternoon, watching for that. And then 28 degrees, but feeling, again, more like 35 by the afternoon. So just keep in mind that we do have that heat, we have that humidity, and we do start to have that active weather threat. pushing back into the forecast as well. But a quick look here at the 3 to 7 day for Oshawa area. By midweek, we do see more precipitation in the forecast, then clearing by the end of the week. And that's going to be a similar story for Peterborough as well. Active weather possible Wednesday before a very sunny weekend on the way. But keep in mind that threat will continue for thunderstorm risk lingering through midweek, but the weekend at this point is looking quite clear for Kingston as well. That's a full look at your weather.
Your Kawarthas is brought to you by Value Propane. Value for your hard-earned money. Value Propane Sunderland.
Up next, by George, our little prince is growing up. The Royals released this striking photo of Prince George. We'll tell you why after the break.
For over 90 years, Kingston Timber Mart has been your exceptional source for lumber, hardware, design, and manufacturing. The new 46,000 square foot location in Lakefield offers even more selection, from the do-it-yourselfers to the professionals, and they are the largest Makita dealer in the Peterborough-Kawarthas area. Plus other brands like Milwaukee, Diablo, and more. And a wide range of accessories to go with the tools. Kingston Timber Mart, with everything for your next project. See them today in Lakefield and Peterborough.
July is heating up, and so are the deals at Peterborough Chrysler. The 2023 Dodge Ram trucks need to move. Featuring the all-new body style, right now get 15% off. The 2024 Chrysler minivans with discounts up to $4,000. How about the 2024 Jeep Compass with 10% off? Hurry in now. These offers end July 31st. Locally owned and operated, your original Chrysler dealer. Peterborough Chrysler, further west above the rest. 2017 Lansdowne Street West, Peterborough.
Thinking of listing? Call Brian Schofield, broker owner of Realty Guys. 37 years experience with family team Chantel and Christy, the Toronto Connection. Peterborough and Toronto office locations with 3.75 full MLS commission. Incredible marketing plan saving you money. For a free market analysis, call Brian Schofield, 705-749-4444. Not intended to solicit properties already under contract.
Summer is here, and your transmission is working harder than ever. Overheating is a major cause of transmission failure, so bring your vehicle to the experts at Peterborough Transmission for their summer maintenance package. Independently owned and operated, they're CAA approved and offer discounts to all Auto League members. They even service corporate fleets, and no fleet is too small. Call 743-6900 or visit 400 McDonald Street, Peterborough. Peterborough Transmission, helping you on your way.
Two five-star businesses together. Kitchens Depot and the Original Flame, now under one roof. Indoor and outdoor kitchens, bathrooms, countertops, fireplaces, luxury appliances, and much more. We're fired up for your renovation. Kitchens Depot and the Original Flame, together under one roof. 810 Rye Street, Peterborough. A true one-stop shopping experience. Visit theoriginalflame.com or kitchensdepot.ca. That's kitchens with an S, depot.ca.
Attention Peterborough residents. Dr. Cam Crawford is currently rostering patients for the Canadian Dental Care Plan. Please call Maple Leaf Dentistry at 705-748-2454.
Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. star in Papa's House, coming this fall on Global.
Well, time now for a look at your dog walking forecast. Something to keep in mind this week, the heat and humidity, especially for our furry friends. Barb and Gary sent us this photo of Linda Lou. She is certainly beating the heat. Yeah, enjoying the water, and I love to see the life jacket as well. Thanks for sharing that with us. A hot one tomorrow through the region. We're looking at mid to upper 20s, so keep that in mind. And storm threat starts to build into the forecast this week as well, so we'll also be following that. If you have a photo you'd like to see, just email me, dogwalkingforecast@globalnews.ca.
The Dog Walking Forecast is brought to you by Pet Supply Warehouse. Quality pet supplies for less at 621 The Parkway, Peterborough.
And finally, we leave you with this thought. Hey, nobody likes to get older, but it's not so bad when you're only turning 11 and you're a royal. I mean, imagine the gifts. Kensington Palace sharing a new portrait of George today on his 11th birthday. This photo was taken by Kate, Princess of Wales in Windsor. Traditionally, the family shares a portrait of each of their children every year on their birthday. The young prince is second in line to the throne behind his father William, the Prince of Wales. And that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. For the latest news and information, you can log on to globalnews.ca. Have a great night.